my brother. You know, I've been thinking about something. We've talked about this. Let's give the people more. Oh, they're gonna f it up.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we begin our second week of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies, and we're going to be discussing the all-star cast from 2005's Be Cool, starring John Travolta, Uma Thurman, Cedric the Entertainer, Vince Vaughn, The Rock, Andre Benjamin, Christina Milian, Harvey Keitel, Danny DeVito, James Woods, Seth Green, and Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And like I said during the introduction, today's film is really an all-star cast. And I'll go in more depth later, but I really feel like this film was a godsend for The Rock so early on in his career, because it gave him a chance to really step away from the action hero roles, to expand his portfolio with what he could and couldn't do, and it gave him so many people to work with. Again, we'll get into that later, post-review. But for right now, let's get into the synopsis of the film here, shall we? Now, as our movie opens, we see Chili Palmer and his friend, Tommy Athens. Now, Chili is restless after years of filmmaking, and Tommy owns a record company. So when Tommy is murdered right in front of Chili, Chili decides to enter the music industry by offering to help Tommy's widow, Edie, manage their record label, which owes $300,000 to hip-hop producer Sin LaSalle. Now, Chili is impressed when he sees an aspiring singer named Linda Moon perform, and he vows right then and there to help free her from her dead-end contract with Nick Carr and Raji. Now, Raji has a gay Samoan bodyguard named Elliot, who is an aspiring actor of his own and the punchline of many of Nick and Raji's homophobic jokes. Nick and Raji end up hiring a hitman named Joe Loop to kill Chili before he can successfully save Edie's record company. Chili is able to arrange, though, for Linda to perform with Aerosmith at one of their concerts as a way to help jumpstart some buzz for her album. But Sin and his crew, the Dub MDs, storm Edie's record company offices and demand payment of the $300,000. Chili, though, is able to convince them to give him and Edie about a week in order to get the money in order. When the Russian mob, who were responsible for Tommy's death, attempt to kill Chili, Joe Loop mistakenly kills the Russian hitman instead. Nick becomes furious about the mix up and demands that Raji talk to Joe Loop. However, when Joe Loop disrespects Raji, Raji beats him to death with an aluminum baseball bat. Nick then tries to trick Chili by giving him a pawn shop claim ticket, telling him that that is where he'll find Linda's contract. But Chili, smarter than Nick anticipated. So Chili gives the pawn shop ticket to Edie, telling her to give it to the police, who pay the Russian owned mob shop a visit. Meanwhile, Elliot and Raji attempt to set Sin up by making him believe that Nick tricked Chili into giving him the $300,000 for Linda's contract. When Sin and the Dub MDs go to confront Nick in his office, Roman Bolkin and some of his men from the Russian mob intrude. And when Roman begins to make racist remarks, Sin kills him. Linda has her performance at the Aerosmith concert, which is a rousing success. And on the strength of the buzz that is being generated, Chili and Edie offer Sin the ability to produce her album and make money off of the album's back end, which potentially will pay off their debt to him and make him even more money in the long run. However, Nick isn't willing to make deals, so he sends Raji and Elliot to kill Chili. But Chili has kind of already befriended Elliot by offering to help him launch his acting career. And Elliot, after learning that Chili had come through and scored him an audition in an upcoming Nicole Kidman film, Elliot turns on Raji, who had deleted the answering machine message left by Chili with all the details. Raji finds himself in a firework conflagration which burns him live on camera, and Nick is arrested on murder charges after Chili makes sure that he is caught in possession of the very aluminum bat that was used to kill Joe Loop via another pawnshop ticket. As our movie ends, Linda wins the MTV Video Music Award for Best New Artist as well as Video of the Year. And during her speech, she gives thanks to Sin, Edie, as well as Chili. And as Edie and Chili leave the ceremony, Chili drives off and passes a billboard on Hollywood Boulevard, revealing that Elliot got the role in the Nicole Kidman movie. This is one of my favorite films in The Rock, Dwayne Johnson's filmography, and I'm going to tell you why. I feel like this was a pivotal film in The Rock's filmography. It allowed him to open so many more doors and show a whole lot of diversity in his roles. You figure he had had the Scorpion King, he had had the Rundown, he had had Walking Tall. All of those were very action centric movies. And while he does play a bodyguard here and has to fight a couple of people, this film very much relied on his acting talents, his comedic talents. I mean, for Christ's sakes, he's playing a gay bodyguard. We all know that Dwayne Johnson is not gay, but he plays this role so beautifully. And there's just something captivating about his performance as Elliot. Now, I still, believe it or not, have yet to see Get Shorty, the movie that this is a sequel to. And I don't feel like I need to, having seen this film. Some people may disagree with me and say, "Oh, but you've got to see that. You'll understand so much more of this film." I don't think I need to, because at the end of the day, this film was designed to help get over, use some wrestling terminology here, Dwayne Johnson, Andre Benjamin, and Christina Milian. Christina Milian was Linda Moon. She was the central focus of the entire film, launching her career. But Andre 3000, Andre Benjamin's Dabu, and The Rock's Elliot were two of the most memorable characters in the entire movie. All three of them got over big time as a result of this film. Andre Benjamin, Andre 3000, of course, one half of the rap duo Outkast, had already had a stellar music career up to this point, but hadn't done a whole lot of acting yet. This movie showed that he could do that, and then he went on to actually make some more movies. Christina Milian had kind of had a struggling musical career, had a couple of hits here and there, but this film was really designed to try to get her out there more. And I can't really say that it succeeded because I can't think of too many other Christina Milian vehicles that came after this, except for I believe there's one she did with Nick Cannon. But Dwayne Johnson, The Rock very easily could have just lived in action movie limbo for the rest of his life. But this film, I believe, is what set him up to get the Tooth Fairy, the Game Plan, Journey to the Mysterious Island, Get Smart. A lot of movies that we're going to be talking about here in the next few days, where not only do they have some of those action elements, but they're very heavily relied on for those other factors that you need to bring to a motion picture. And I believe all that started for Dwayne right here in Be Cool. What do you guys think? Am I totally overanalyzing this? Am I missing the mark? Am I just spewing bullshit? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching later in the day on the demand, leave your thoughts and comments down here. But let's open up that conversation. Let's have that debate about some of these movies because I'm genuinely curious if you guys see this film the same way that I do. So once again, if you're watching the premiere, leave those comments here. If you're watching on demand, leave them down there. But let's talk about this because, as I stated, I feel that this film was very pivotal for The Rock turning that corner. I put this in the same category that I do the film Point Break for Keanu Reeves. Because you look at Keanu's filmography pre Point Break, and he was always playing that stoner-esque Ted type of character. Whoa, dude. Most excellent, Bill. And there was some of that was very prevalent in Point Break because he actually played a surfer in the movie. But it also was the movie that kind of steered him towards doing the action vehicles that would come further down the road in his career. With the success of Point Break came Speed, The Matrix, the John Wick series. With him doing Speed came The Lake House later, where he reteamed with Sandra Bullock. You know, a whole other world really opened to Keanu off of the strength and success of Point Break. And I feel that Be Cool was that film for The Rock. Again, let me know what you think. When it comes to this movie, like I said, I really, really enjoy this one. 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but out of everything that we've covered so far, The Scorpion King, The Rundown, and Walking Tall, this is my favorite out of everything we've talked about to date. Be Cool. So I have to give it a higher rating than I did for Scorpion King and Rundown. 4.5 out of 5 stars. What do you guys think? Again, let me know if you're watching the premiere, if you're watching on demand. Leave those thoughts and comments about Be Cool. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, when we take a look at another action comedy film, Get Smart, starring Steve Carell, Anne Hathaway, Dwayne Johnson, Alan Arkin, Terrence Stamp, Dalip Singh, Terry Crews, James Caan, Masi Oka, Nate Torrance, and Bill Murray. You're not going to want to miss out on that one tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, right back here on an all-new episode of Renegades Reviews. And notice, I said Dwayne Johnson this time. This is the first movie we're going to be talking about this month where he was actually credited under Dwayne Johnson and not The Rock. So this movie marks that switch. Everything else that we're going to discuss this month will be credited as Dwayne Johnson. So that's going to be something we'll definitely get into tomorrow. Dalip Singh, the great Kali, is in this film. So we'll be discussing some of great Kali tomorrow when we discuss Get Smart. It's got a great cast. So I hope you guys will tune in tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel for that. Make sure you guys tune in immediately following this episode of Renegades Reviews, both on the Jeff Meacham Network and the Casa D18 Studios channel, as Jeff and I proudly bring to you our top 10 Dwayne Johnson movies on an all-new episode of The Dads Not Always on Wrestling. You already know how I feel about this movie and some of the other movies that I've been discussing. Where will they rank in my top 10? What will Jeff have to say? You'll have to tune in again immediately following this episode, both here on the Casa D18 Studios channel and on the Jeff Meacham Network, to find out. Again, to all my loyal fans and viewers, thank you for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys tune in when this is over for a new installment of The Dad's Not Always on Wrestling. I, of course, am the Renegade JJ Williams. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.